Do you know that in Maharashtra there is now a law under which even the chief minister can be investigated for corruption, along with ministers, MLAs and senior officers? Yes, this is the new law Lokayukta Act. But at the same time, one of the main faces of India's anti-corruption movement, Anna Hazare, is preparing for an indefinite fast because he says this very law is still only on paper and not implemented properly. Well, hi, I'm Khatija and you're watching Lokmat Times. Today we are breaking down three things. What exactly this Lokayukta law in Maharashtra, why the government is presenting it as a big anti-corruption move, and why Anna Hazare is so angry that he is calling this final agitation. But before we move ahead, do subscribe and press the bell icon for all the latest updates. The Lokayukta is an anti-corruption ombudsman for the state. It is a body that can look into complaints of corruption against people in high office. Maharashtra replaced its old 1971 law by passing the Maharashtra Lokayukta Bill in December 2022. The new law brings the Chief Minister, councils of ministers, MLAs and senior bureaucrats under its scope. It also covers certain local body representatives and officials of statutory authorities. The Lokayukta is headed by a retired Supreme Court judge or a former Chief Justice of a High Court and can have up to 4 members. Its main role is to recommend investigations and prosecution in cases of corruptions. Now, how does the law work for the chief ministers or the other officials? An inquiry against a sitting or former chief minister can start only if at least 2/3 of the total members of the Maharashtra Assembly vote in favor. For other ministers, the Lokayukta needs the governor's approval. For senior IAS officers, the state government's sanctions and the chief secretary's opinions are required. Supporters of the law says these steps prevent misuse of politically motivated complaints, while critics point out that such high thresholds could make it harder to investigate powerful officials. Now, why is this law back in the news now in late 2025? After the Assembly passed the bill on 28 December 2022 and the Legislative Council cleared it, the law went to the President for assent. The centre suggested some amendments such as updating references to new central criminal laws and clarifying that state-appointed officials in certain central law will also fall under the Lokayukta. These amendments were passed in the winter session of the Assembly in December 2025. The government has now said the act is ready for implementation with these changes. Now, Anna Hazare's concerns remains the delay in putting the law into practice. He says that even after the legislature approved the Lokayukta law, ordinary citizens still cannot file complaints or seek action. Hazare had earlier gone on a hunger strike for a strong Lokayukta and withdrew it after receiving assurances. But he says the process has taken too long and citizens still do not see the law functioning on the ground.
आज तक ये देश कानून के आधार पर चला है। लोकसभा और विधानसभा में मुख्य काम है कानून करना। मैंने आज तक 10 कानून बनाए। 10 कानून से आज लोगों को लाभ मिल रहा है। 10 कानून बनाए। सूचना का अधिकार, दफ्तर देंगे, बदले का कानून, लोकपाल, 10 कानून बनाए। अभी ये राज्य में सशक्त लोकायुक्त कायदा होना जरूरी है। ये पढ़ाओ इसको, सशक्त लोकायुक्त कायदा। इसके लिए सरकार हमारे में काफी मीटिंग हो गई, कई मीटिंगें हो गई। सरकार ने आश्वासन भी दे दिया, लेकिन अभी तक लोकायुक्त कानून नहीं आया।
Because of this, Hazare has announced an indefinite Amran Uposhan, a fast unto death, from 30th January 2026 at the Yadav Baba temple in his village Raliganj Siddhi in Ahmednagar district. He describes this as a decisive agitation to push for full implementation of the law. He also hopes that people across Maharashtra will support a strong, functioning anti-corruption mechanism. At the same time, the government says it has followed all constitutional procedures. It incorporated the president's suggestion and is moving to operationalize the law. Officials highlight that the new Lokayukta will cover the chief ministers, MLAs, senior officers and state-appointed officials. It will have a defined process for starting probes and recommending cases for trial. So now what does this mean for citizens? On paper, Maharashtra will have a strong Lokayukta that can investigate even the highest offices in the state. In practice, the debate is between the government's view that the law is now ready and Anna Hazare's demand that it should have become fully functional much earlier, so that citizens can directly use it to fight corruption in their day-to-day lives. Well, over the coming weeks, the key developments will include the formal notifications of the law, framing of rules and procedures for filing complaints, and the public response to Hazare's announced fast. So how these steps are implemented will show how effective the Lokayukta will be in actually checking corruption in Maharashtra. Now, what do you think about Maharashtra's new Lokayukta law and Anna Hazare's fast? Do you feel this law will make a real difference in fighting corruption? Share your views in the comments below.